Hi, welcome. You are a beautiful, beautiful soul. It's amazing to connect to you all again today. So, welcome to my journey update part two. So, I'm going to be connecting to my journey. We're going to be going back into the past. I'm daunting this. This is something that is going to be icky and sticky, but I'm going to go there and I'm going to reflect that part of myself to you so that you can understand me, understand my journey, understand what I have gone through as a divine masculine to get to the place and to the point where I am today on this twin flame journey. So we're going to go back into the past. I'm going to go through the catalyst situations that I experienced who mirrored my twin flame. I'm going to go through as well a false twin flame as well, and why I needed to experience that at that time, and how everything linked up and synchronized in amazing and crazy ways. And yeah, I'm going to be tapping in and tuning in and showing you my perspective and what I was feeling during those times as well, and what my perspective was, what my vibration was as well, what could I understand at that time, what could I comprehend, what energies did I have diligence on, what did I know, what was I unsure about. So we're going to be tapping in and tuning in to all those energies today, so stick around for the ride because I feel like it's going to get pretty crazy. Which I reflect that energy. I always think that energy in the past is like, huh. Yeah, so we're gonna go back to that place. So let's go back to around 7 years ago, 8 years ago. So I was waking up on my journey. I'm just going to tell you my whole awakening experience because this is, I feel, is important to acknowledge and why and why everything happened, and the synchronicity of everything that happened at that time. So I woke up on my journey. Yes, that was a very scary time at that time because previously, before that, I was never someone who was spiritually open to things. I didn't even know what tarot was. I didn't even know what a chakra was, or an energy, or a vibration. It's not something that I thought about or ever thought I would think about. But of course I've always had an energy within me, and I knew that I was always on that search to find something, and I know that. But yeah, as a child, I never really had much. I probably had some spiritual experiences and deja vu and other things like that, but I was in a family and an environment where spirituality wasn't a thing. It wasn't seen as the norm, so that was seen as weird or whatever in that perspective. Because when I did wake up, my family was like, okay, what is going on with you at this time? So I experienced three catalysts. Okay, I call them the three C's because they mirrored a lot to me about who I was, and the pain and the sadness and everything else that I had inside, and my fears. So they were the catalyst and the triggers to awaken me, to connect to my heart, to connect to my emotional being again. There was those triggers to open that window, to open that doorway. So each C mirrored different things as well, about my true twin flame as well, and I'm going to get into that as well and how that relates, and everything else. But there's so much to express and to go through, so this might be a long video, but again, just thank you for being here and giving me an opportunity to share my journey with you guys. It's amazing. So yeah, the three C's. And also I want to add as well, my life path number is 3. And that is also relevant in a way of synchronicity, because if my life path number is 3, I'm going to experience that energy. So ABC, so C is the third letter as well. Also, if none of you knew as well, I'm also a twin. I have a twin sister called Laura. So I'm a twin as well, and on this journey, when I awoke, I experienced the 3 C's, and that was very traumatic, and there was a lot of things that didn't go right or didn't go the best in those connections at all. So that was definitely something that I needed to go through, because it showed me many things about myself that helped me to see and evaluate. And yes, there was painful situations, and once I healed that, I was like, wow, what was I doing, etc., like we always do. But there was a very important part and process in my life, for sure, to mirror that energy, to mirror that energy of my true twin flame as well, and that experience. So again, that was something that was very chaotic, draining, you know. And when I did wake up, it did take me a while to heal, to process such things. So I woke up, I spent a lot of time, and when I woke up, it was just a situation that happened, you know. So the last sea that I was with, we ended. I lost my job and where I was living all at the same time. So things come in freeze. So yeah, all that happened at the same time, and you know, that was a big, you know, that was something that was a big trigger, you know. And I got put in a situation, you know, where I didn't have much. You know, all I had was a bed, my room, because you know, you know, it was a situation where I let my TV out or something happened along the way and however happened, I got put in that situation so I could spend time with myself and no distractions. And that has never really been a thing before. So again, doing that healing process, trying to understand myself and the way that I feel, because I wanted to change. I didn't want to feel the way that I felt anymore, so I wanted to change, etc. And then I was receiving signs, and you know, I was on, you know, doing spiritual things, you know, going to the woods, connecting with nature. I was just getting back to who I truly am. And then, okay, coming on to this twin flame journey, it resonated so much because the first video that I watched about it was talking about catalysts and how catalysts mirror and prepare you for your twin flame. And I was like, catalyst, okay, catalyst, okay. And then I was like, oh, the last 3 people I've been with, their names began with C. And I was like, wow, that is a crazy synchronicity. And I didn't even realize that. I wasn't even in a state of vibration to have diligence about all these people with the name C coming into my life to represent the word catalyst. And you know, when I heard that, that resonated with my soul and my being, and I was like, okay, then okay, I'm a twin myself. That also makes sense as well. um and other such things as well. It just resonated with me in a way that, you know, when you've been searching for something, or that you're here to do a certain thing or for a certain reason, then I felt like, you know, I felt like, you know, when you resonate with something so powerfully, you feel emotion, you feel all those things. That's what happened. So I was on my journey to find understanding of whom this person was. You know, because when we get onto this journey, there's a lot of confusion. There is, you know, I've just awoken. I've just awoken, and I've spent, you know, maybe a year or so on my own, being a hermit, not, you know, just channeling stuff, just doing stuff like writing, drawing, going to the woods. I wasn't working at that time. I just spent that time with myself. I was also healing addiction as well, and cannabis and things like that. I was very addicted to that because that made me feel numb. That put me in a vibrational frequency so that I could forget all my problems. And that's something that I also stopped doing at that time, and which created a window to finally connect to myself again as well, and be in a vibration that I'm, you know, meant to be in most of the time. So with that as well, and with all those changes and all those synchronicities going on at that time, mentally, you know, there was times where I was like, can this just stop? Can I go back? Because it's just, you know, it's a really intense energy, and I feel like we all feel like that as well, because no one understood me at that time as well. Just I think I had friends, and I know everyone else has been through this situation as well, and friends, you have to disconnect from the people that have been in your life, because you know that they're not good for you or your vibration, or good for you, as they maybe never was good at all for me, in reality, in the truth of things. But again, knowing your worth and what you're worthy of, and being around people who actually are genuine, and etc. So again, as I'm being more genuine with myself and more truthful with myself, that's why those other situations weren't resonating as well at that time. So there was definitely that time that I spent alone for like a year, and then I started doing just into research and things, and I came up, like I said, I came across that video, and that was just like crazy resonating, and then that brought confusion into me. So I was watching readings and things like this, and I was resonating with traveling to my twin in some way, you know, and I was talking a lot about traveling and all these other things, and that resonated. very deeply. And then I was on that journey. I was on that journey like we all do. We're all that at the start. Who is this? What is this? Because again, it's recognizing that energy, it's understanding again. And when we're on a journey to fully recognize the self, when we finally do recognize the self and who we are, that's when we're going to recognize our twin, and that's when we're going to be ready for that. So all that process happened, and I could go into the lessons that I learned as well with the three C's, which were very, very, a lot about self-worth and projecting fears, and other things as well. Because through them connections as well, and because I was not feeling worthy or loved or good enough, I actually was mentally ill. I will say that I haven't told anyone, like my family, or I've told a few people about this, but I was mentally ill at that time, because of all the repressed emotions, all the other things that were going on, because of everything from the past, whatever was going on, abandonment issues, all these other emotional things that were affecting me. And where did all this energy go? It went straight to my head. So again, I didn't transmute this or understand this, so it gave me, I had a mental illness. So the mental illness that I had was OCD. So it was just like some, because of those energies were there, and those energies wasn't being transmuted or discarded, the only thing that could happen was a physical thing. That's what happens. We do these physical things. If we have to release that energy in a physical way, we do it. So I had OCD like crazy, at points. But again, when I woke up, I healed that, and it was such a relief mentally, in my mind, and everything that happened. So again, it's possible, and we can heal these things. I've done it myself. So OCD, let me give you an example of how bad it was. I can be very open and honest with you, and show you this. So something that I healed during that time after the free season previously of that, and it was such a trigger, and it was a trigger about not feeling good enough, worthy enough, and all the other past repressed emotions as well. And this OCD was not like cleaning things like most people clean. Mine was more of repeating something over and over again until I got it right. So that might be, I have to wear my clothes. I just say I put my socks on. It's not good enough. I have to, I have to take them off and put them on again. That's how mentally we can be, and that was the thing. I used to struggle to get out of the house, because that would be a thing that I would have to repeat. I'd have to repeat that. I'd have to put my socks on over and over again. It's like, when I look back now, it's ridiculous, and it's not something that I'm really proud of myself for overcoming that and achieving that, of course. But I'm saying that, as a masculine, there's a lot more going on mentally within people that we may not understand, just like you're masculine. There's a lot more going on within our depths that, so understanding that. So that was a big trigger to find myself and to start feeling worthy again and love. And I feel like that was one of Liz's purposes as well, in some way, to come into my life. We was brought together for a reason, and I've expressed that as well, because there was a lot of confusion at the start as well, about the connection and other things as well, and everything. But going into that, and the journey of side of things, I know why that needed to happen now. I know why I needed to be in that space. If I wasn't in that space, if I never met Liz, would I be with Linnea now? That kind of scares me in a way. Like, I'm so glad I went through all these experiences to get where I am. I feel so lucky and very grateful for experiencing this and having these experiences, even though that it wasn't the best. So again, a lot of you, on this journey, we experienced the false twin flame as well, and etc. and that, and that was, what I have with Linnea is very different to that. And how just everything, how I feel, the emotion, the chakras, the energy, the recognition, everything was there. And this is why, you know, with Liz it was confusing because of some of the things you said at the start as well. And you know, I was a confused cookie a little bit back then as well. And still young, a lot young, but young in my energy. You know, if you look back at some of my videos, and see my energy back then to now, it's very different. It's very different indeed. So that was part of that journey and why I needed to be there, because Liz was the link for me and Linnea to come together. And we always, you know, and when we got together, that's something Liz did express. She expressed that I'm going to introduce you to your true person. And, you know, I'm like, okay. And she was saying that it's some form of karma, etc. And, you know, it is something that we needed to ask, and it was confusing. And we know we got brought together for a reason, and was both doing this twin flame thing. So you got to understand it can be a confusing thing as well, about, you know, we're being brought together for a reason. It is for for a way of healing and understanding as well. And you know, I got taught so much in that connection, a lot of things as well. So, you know, being grateful for that is also something that I very, 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 very grateful for that, and for that experience. But also want to make it clear as well that Linnea is my true twin flame. Liz is the false twin. And that may be difficult for some of you to listen to or to hear because of the past and what has happened as well here on the channel. But I do want to be authentic with you. I do want to tell you guys my truth. And you know, that's why I'm here giving a journey update as well, because I'm going to go into the connection with Linnea and how I felt, what I felt during those experiences, because that is, you know, what, you know, you briefly know what I guess happened with me and Liz and that connection. The things wasn't there that there was meant to be there. So me talking about my connection with Linnea is also going to help you to understand what our connection is, even though that we're in knowing and truth. And you've got to think as well, like, I never wanted to be on camera. I never wanted to show myself. I never wanted to, I don't know, it was just a weird energy. It was like I was trapped within the self in some way. And, you know, like, it's so weird. But I needed to be in that situation. I needed to see what I was seeing at that time to understand, you know, the way of the universe, the way things need to be sometimes. So yeah, everything that happened for a reason, and the magical reason behind that is to meet Linnea, and that is amazing. So meeting Linnea, I also want to talk about this process and what happened as well, because people have also said on the channel that I've cheated on Liz and done all these other things, which is not true at all. That's not how this connection started or happened. Okay, I'm gonna go into it because it's gonna get crazy, and it was confusing at that time as well. I'm gonna be very open and honest with everything because I've got no reason why not to be, you know. So yeah, it was around in December where me and Linnea first had contact. I think it was the 14th of December. So Liz was in a live stream. This is going to sound so weird and messed up. I don't want you guys to think bad of me or, you know, in any way, but, you know, this is what needed to happen. This is the way that it had to be. And sometimes that is difficult and hard. It's not what we do. But Liz has also expressed on her channel as well that she has known all along that her twin is Paul. So there's also some other things as well that it's been going on, but that's who I think it is, and I'm very happy for her to find her place and to find her person as well. I'm very happy for her that she is making moves towards her union as well and her true twin flame, which is great and amazing. So you got to think, you know, that we are, you know, I'm definitely in an energy where there's no bad energies. There's nothing like that at all. So let's get into this. So So Linnea was a part of our channels, and I didn't know of Linnea that much. She commented on my, comments a few times, whatever, and she said, so there was a time where Liz was doing a live stream, talking to you guys, talking to whoever was there. And yeah, Liz mentioned that I was playing Fortnite, a game. Yeah, I do play games sometimes. So yeah, I was playing that at the time. But yeah, it was weird because before that I had I all of a sudden had a fascination with the game, like, as well. And before that, not long before that as well, not long before December, and because I was playing different things, so then that was like the main game that I was playing. So yeah, carrying on to the conversation and the situation. So yeah, basically, Liz was like, do you want to play with George, etc. So Liz even made that window and that opportunity for us to connect there as well. So yeah, so Linnea emailed me. We added each other on Fortnite. We had a game. And the first game we had, like, there's an emote where you can hug, and there was some form of energy that I felt during that. It was crazy. It was like, okay, that was weird. That's not something that I've ever experienced before. I thought I could experience in a game, but we connected in that way, and our energies as well. And then we stopped playing a while. We stopped playing for like the whole of December, and then in like the middle of January-ish, we started playing together again and communicating. But we played in a group of people. We had like a clan, so there's a big group of people that we're playing with. So even though there was these energy things going on as well, and there was a lot of confusion because we've actually talked about all these different energies now, that we wasn't talking about obviously then, that was connecting to. So there's all these energies happening, that was going on, and yeah, so we never really had time to speak alone as well, because there was a big group of people that we played with this clan. So was always in a big party, and we all had fun, and we was all playing, and there's nothing weird going on. I was actually giving her advice about her people, if she was dating someone at the time, or whatever was going on, or whatever, or what she was experiencing, because she actually experienced 3As as well, which is a synchronicity. She experienced 3As, and she experienced a connection, exactly like Liz's, like mine, as well. So there's a lot of synchronicity, a lot of things. As we've got to know each other, and as we've unfolded to each other, we've understood more about these energies as well. But there was that instant recognition as well. As soon as I saw her, or a photo of her, I had that instant recognition that I've never had before, like that in my life. The first time I saw her and looked into her eyes, my soul said, "It's you." That just came out, "It's you." And I was like, and then I was like, "Who are you?" That was my response when I first saw her, when I first looked into her eyes on a photo. I said, "It's you." And then I was like, "Who are you?" Because of everything going on. So there was these energies, as well, and that were going on, and that wasn't being said or spoken about between each other, because one, I was in a relationship with Liz, and I do respect that. Even though that things were on a rocky road way before that as well, and things wasn't right or okay, for maybe that whole year before, things wasn't right. There was just something that it was just something that didn't, I don't know, it was just something, just something between us. We wasn't resonating with each other anymore. We didn't have the same views in life in some ways as well. Shoshu mentioned on the channel as well that I didn't want kids, and that was a lie. I do want kids. She's told you guys that I didn't want kids, and she's made like a false appearance of me in some way, to in some way, because that is something that I want. I want to have children, and I told her that by time I'm 30, that's something that I want to explore, and that's something that I want to have. So again, some things that I don't know what she was saying on her channel mostly, but I do want to point that out, that is something that that I want and desire for my life. So Um, so yeah, so yeah, going back to this, so going back to this, a big group of people we're playing. We're not communicating about energies, but we're feeling these. We're feeling these. There's some crazy energies going on, and it's like Liz picked up on it without even knowing, I think, and because I wasn't, I was in a state of like, what is going on here as well. But we was playing even in a group of people. There was nothing. It was just she was my friend at that time. We had a great friendship, and that's what we built this connection off in the first place. So we didn't actually start communicating or speaking alone. I didn't even messenger on private messenger. We had a group chat on Instagram, with the clanning. So it was not even, we didn't even speak in private or communicate like that. We only communicated on headset or whatever when we're playing games, but with other people as well. So it got to like May, and then we started talking to each other. We actually played a game just by ourselves, and was doing this and was communicating to each other and was talking to each other. And we finally, it's like a doorway was open, but there was so many energy exchanges throughout that time as well. But yeah, it got into the point where previously as well, I want to go into the situation of me leaving Liz as well, and the reason for that. Because at that time there was no reason for me to leave Liz for Linnea or anything like that. That is not what I did at all. So what actually happened was, before that as well, me and Liz were just not working out. I had thoughts about this as well. And even before, we've argued and things like that. And, we've ended things, got back together, whatever, tried to make things work. But, it came to a point where I was like, no, I'm not gonna, this is it. I'm not. And I had to, I walked away. I spoke my truth, and I expressed what I was feeling, what I wasn't feeling anymore. And then I left. So I left. I got back here, and yeah, I just spent a lot of time by myself. I didn't speak to anyone. When I came here. Where I was in this room, doing work, healing and releasing, understanding all these things. So me and Linnea kind of disconnected after me and Liz split. And it was like a month. So March. So it's like a month, 2 months. Because I was like the end of May. Around that time, we started speaking again, but we didn't get together straight away, of course. It was a process that happened. But even looking back now, and like, how is that like months ago? Because that seems like a lifetime ago. That seems like years ago. And when you are with your twin flame, it's like time doesn't exist. It's like the time of things is so weird, and the energy around the both of you is crazy. But again, like, you've got to see me and the transformation that has happened in this short amount of time. That from March to April, May, June. Yeah, so around May, so within like 3 months, I went for a massive transformation. So as soon as around May happened, everything started happening. I started healing and all these other things, because a lot of energies were exchanged between me and Linnea when we was communicating. And she lives in Sweden, and all these energies, I'm not going to go into every energy, because that is going to be a whole massive video. But briefly, the energies were amazing and crazy, and so many confirmations that I haven't felt before, and definitely not with Liz. So the chakras, the sacral chakra, and all the chakras just vibrating and opening, and the heart chakra, and all these other things, and the connection, and thinking like each other, and just everything that a twin flame connection is meant to be. That is it. So all the signs and all the things that were telling us, because we have experienced false twins, we come into this with an open mind, because that is the way that we, you want to do. But that recognition was already there, and as soon as she saw me and recognized me, that's something that she also said as well. This is your twin flame. So again, it's that recognition, and I've never had something from deep within communicate like that when I said it's you, and I'm like, who are you? So again, it's that. But I wanted to explain the situation because that is something that I want to do. I want to explain as much as I can. I know this video is a little bit of a mess, jumping from one place to another, but again, that's been a reflection of my life, I guess, in some way, to get to this point of where I am now. So again, the transformation that has occurred during these times, I was 16 stone in weight. I'm gonna actually make a video with, you're gonna see some of my joggers. Like, I'm gonna show you the joggers that I had on. Literally, like, one leg was like this big. Like, I can get like my both legs into one leg now, into one of the legs. So not only that has changed, so many other things have healed as well, and been brought up to be transmuted and healed in a way of love as well. With this connection, we're also talking about triggers. We communicate in an amazing way with each other. We're emotionally available to each other. We're vulnerable with each other. Everything that is meant to be amazing and great is, so we spent a month together as well. She came over here to England. We spent a month together, and the first time that I saw her and we locked eyes, it was magical, and I kissed her, and it was like, it was so natural and normal. There was no awkwardness, there was no anything. It was just one of the most natural experiences, just being with each other. Was just being around each other as if we've been around each other for millions and millions of years. It was just so natural, and and we do everything together. We share everything. So we have a drink, we'll share that drink, because that is our energy. We share with each other. So again, that is something beautiful and something very different to what has been before. So all these energies that are healing, like sexual healing as well, because that is also something important to talk about as well. And having that intimate time with, especially with your twin flame, is crazy. And that is just, it's just a lot of healing within that as well. A lot of healing and a lot of other energies that happen, and you heal each other's past as well. So things are being brought up between us, and we're dealing with that. We're talking about triggers, we're talking about all these other things. So that is something that I'm also going to be coming on and sharing as well, about certain triggers, how you can communicate with your twin flame about them to create a safe space for each other to do so. So yeah, this is a bit more information about what has happened. So we spent that month together, and that was amazing. I'm also flying out there in September as well. Still going to be here on the channel, still going to be doing readings, but I'm going to be just in a different country doing that. So yeah, it gives me also an opportunity to show you guys a bit of Sweden as well, and journey, maybe do some blogging as well, and other stuff as well. Just to show up, to show myself, etc. And yeah, but I'm interested to know your thoughts in the comments section below about this. And even everything that I've said is so brief, but it's been 33 minutes. It's so brief in what I've said about everything. It's just been a little, these details. But going into Catalyst is something that I'm going to do as well. This is just another update to let you know and give you more information about the connection, what is happening as well with me and Linnea right now, because right now we're working on triggers and healing. That has been coming up within the last week, a lot of triggers and things like that to be healed, to be transmuted. So that is something that we've been working on and going through. But it's been an amazing experience, because we've both been in a vibration to understand and to express things emotionally and be vulnerable in that space without, because even though that trigger puts you into that vibration of the past, and, we also communicating to each other in amazing ways, and healing with it and dealing with it very quickly as well. Because our vibrations are naturally bringing up things to be transmuted, to be understood in a way of unconditional love. So yeah, so that is everything that has been happening and has happened, you know, that's still a lot of brief information. But again, more videos. And if there's something that you would all want to know specifically, then also write down that in the comments section below, and that is something that I also can do my best to create as well and to talk about with you guys. So if there's anything also that you would like to know about me or about my journey or what I've experienced, and other such things as well, the comment section is open for you to express anything that you want, even if it's not something nice and wonderful. That is a space for you to reflect whatever energy you want. Of course, if it's going to be something mad and crazy, that will be either removed or I'll just ignore that. I'll probably read it, but just pay no attention to it. But if there's something genuine, and you know, which you all actually have been, even though you've expressed your concerns, it hasn't been in a way that it's still been in a good way, you know. So I appreciate that. I appreciate every single one of you. You're all amazing, beautiful souls. I'm really looking forward to connecting more with you all on the channel. And yeah, have a magical day. And as always, namaste.